Hi, in this video we will learn about Docker volumes. So first of all, we will learn what are Docker volumes and why we need them, and then we will see some Docker commands that we can use to work with volumes in Docker. So a Docker volume is an independent file system that is entirely managed by Docker. We need them for persisting the data used and generated by Docker containers. So in Docker, if you have, for example, a container running a MySQL database and you have some data in this database, if the container goes down, you will lose all the data written to this database. And the solution for persisting the data written to the database is to mount a Docker volume to the MySQL container. So now the data written to the MySQL database will be persistent in the Docker volume. So if your MySQL container goes down, you can create another container, and by mounting the same volume to this new created container, you will find all the data that you have in the database. Okay. And we will see an example of that and how to mount volumes to containers in the upcoming video. Now let's see some Docker commands that we can use to work with Docker volumes. So here we have the Docker volume command used to work with Docker volumes. And this command has some subcommands. For example, we have Docker volume create to create a new volume, Docker volume inspect to display detailed information about a specific volume. We can list the volumes that we have using Docker volume ls. We can remove a volume using Docker volume error. Okay. So for example, here if we run Docker volume create with the -help option, so here we see that we use this command to create a volume. Okay. So to create a volume, here we use the Docker volume create, and then we give it the name of the volume. Okay. So for example, here I can create a volume called Jenkins how. We will work with this volume in the upcoming video with the Jenkins container. So here the volumes was successfully created, and we can list all the volumes that we have using Docker volume ls. So here Docker display all the local volumes. Okay, and here is the Jenkins home volume. We can get more information about this volume using Docker volume inspect, and then we give it the name of the volume, which is Jenkins how. So here you find when this volume was created, the driver, the labels, and the mount point. So here we find where this volume is stored in our system. Okay, so all the volumes are stored here in this location under /var/lib/docker/volumes. So here in this Docker folder, we find everything related to Docker: the images, the containers, the volumes, the network. And if we list the content of this folder using ls/var/lib/docker, so here we find everything related to Docker. Okay, so here we find the containers, the images, the networks, the volumes. Okay, and here if we list the content of this folder, so the volumes folder, here is the Jenkins home volume. So when we create a volume, a new folder will be created here in this volume directory. And finally, to remove a specific volume, we can use the Docker volume rm, and then we give it the name of the volume. For example, let's delete the Jenkins home volume. So here, when we press enter, this volume will be removed. Now let's display the volumes again using Docker volume ls. And here we find that the Jenkins home volume disappears. Okay. So if you want to create a volume, use the Docker volume create command and then specify the name of the volume. If you want to display detailed information about a specific volume, use the Docker volume inspect command. And finally, to remove a volume, you can use the Docker volume rm combined with the name of the volume that you want to remove. And in the upcoming video, we'll see how to mount a volume to a container. So that's it for now, and see you in the next video.